Welcome back to Learn Arabic with Manar. In our last lesson about numbers, we talked about numbers from 1 to 10. In today's lesson, we will talk about numbers from 11 to thousands. We will see the numbers and we will see all the details to help you remember them and use them. Yalla, let's start. So between the tens, like for example, if I want to say 21, 22 and so on until I will reach the 30, and after I will say 31, 32, 34, how we will form this in Arabic? Well, in Arabic we will go back again to the first lesson when we talked about the ones from 1 to 9. We will use the feminine form of the numbers, and after the feminine form we will add and, u, and after this we will put the tens. So, a very important note here, in Arabic when we read the numbers that it has two categories, ones and tens. We start by reading the ones, we put and between, and after we read the tens. For example, 21, I would say واحد وعشرين 21 22 22. So with واحد, with 21 and 22, always when I'm starting with 1 and 2, like 21, 22, 31, 32, 1 and 2, we are using the masculine form. So I would say واحد وعشرين 22 31 32. So for 1 and 2 I will always use the masculine form, but from 3 to 9 I will use the feminine form. So it will be 23, it will be 23 23 25 26 26. So 1, 21, 22 I'm using the masculine, 3 and up I'm using the feminine. Let's see the numbers from 21 to 29 in order. 21 واحد وعشرين 22 22 23 23 24 24 25 25 26 26 27 27 28 28 29 29. Some people, they will merge the sound of u with the first number, with the ones. So instead of hearing 27, you will hear it 27, you will hear it 27 27. Instead of hearing 25, you will hear it 25 25. It's not a different number, it's just like being rushed when you are talking. So it will be 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29. Now we reach the hundreds. 100 in Arabic, it is مية. It's ending with ta marbuta because it is feminine. To form 200, 300, 400, we use مية and we add something to it. So to form 200, we will say 200. We add in at the end, and the ta marbuta will sound ta. 200 200. And 300, from 300 to 900, we will go back and we will use the ones that we saw in the first lesson, and we will use the masculine form of these numbers, again with exception of 3 and 8. So we will say 300 400 500 600 700 for 8 we will say 800 900. So we are using the masculine form of the ones with exception of 3 and 8. So 300 400 500 600 700 800 900. After hundreds in Arabic, we use also singular nouns. And the sound of مية, the ta مربوطة will turn to t. So instead of saying مية, I will say meat. And after, I will put the noun that I'm talking about. So for example, 100 books. ميت كتاب. ميت كتاب. كتاب is a book. And we are using the singular. 100 كتاب or 300 كتاب. Instead of saying 300, I will say 300 كتاب. 500 كتاب. 500 books. 500 كتاب. 500 500. But when I'm using it with a noun after it, I will pronounce it 500 كتاب. It is a book and we are using the singular. 100 كتاب, 300 كتاب, 500 كتاب. Now let's talk about thousands. Thousand, 1,000. In Arabic it is ألف. ألف. We are using this word to form all the thousands. So for 2,000, I would say ألفين. ألفين, it is ending with ain because it is dual, two. ألف, ألفين. And after, from 3,000 to 9, I will go back and I will use the ones, the masculine form, and after I will add the plural form of alf, and it is alaf. And in the spoken Arabic, in the Levantine dialect, we said talaf, talaf. So with thousands, we are using the masculine form, including 3 and 8. It's not like we saw before with tens. Here we are using the masculine form for all the numbers. And after the masculine form of the numbers from 3 to 9, we are using the plural form of 1,000. So it will be 3,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,000, 5,000, 5,000, 6,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000, 8,000, 8,000, 9,000, 9,000. And again, after 1,000, we are using singular nouns. So I will say ألف كتاب, 1,000 books. In Arabic, I will use the singular كتاب, ألف كتاب. 5,000 كتاب, 5,000 books. I'm using the singular after all the thousands. Let's see how we write numbers and how we read them in Arabic. The easy thing that we write number as we write them in the Latin system. So we write from left to right. We start with 1,000, hundreds, tens, and at the end we write the ones. When we have only tens and ones, we write them as we write them in the Latin system, tens and after the ones, but we read them from right to left. So we read first the ones, we add the sound u or and in English, it is u in the Levantine dialect, and after we say the tens. For example, 62, 62, 62. Or for example, 74, 74. So I write it in the Latin way, but I read it from right to left. Only when I have ones and tens. But if I have 100 and up, for example, if I have 100, I will read the 100 first, I will go back to read the ones, and after I come back to read the tens. For example, 162. In Arabic, it will be 162. وستين 100 and 2 2 and 60 60 162 162. If I have thousands, I will read the thousand, hundreds, and after I will go back to ones, and after I will come back to tens. For example, 2574. In Arabic, I will read it like this: 2574 2574. I will read the thousands, the hundreds, and I will jump to the ones and come back to the tenths. 2574. In learning any new language, numbers are from the most difficult part to master and learn. If you have any question, leave me a comment and I will answer you. Try to use the numbers in sentences and I will correct them for you. Instead of our word review as usual, I will just read random numbers so you will see and you get familiar how to read numbers in Arabic. Try to repeat after me. 45 45 82 82 293 293 421 421 816 816 913 913 3754 3754 6587 6587 582 582. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked today's lesson, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For more Arabic lessons, you could check this playlist or that playlist. See you there. Yalla bye.